We have a few things to talk about today. They managed to add a few updates into the game, and some of which I think we need to actually look at. Hello, everybody. This is Frogman. Welcome back to Captain of Industry. It's been a little bit, I think a week and a half or something since I played the video game, or this game at least for the most part, and there has been some things added. So for those of you that are worried or working with trains, you may want to read through some of the stuff that's going on in here. When we get to the trains, which should actually probably be in an episode or two based on my plans for today, we're going to actually kind of mess around with things and get there. My major interest right now today, and it's probably going to be the second or third thing we're going to try to research, is that they added logistic zones for trucks. So trucks can be assigned to separated zones, which means we can build zones for specific groups of trucks to haul things in between areas. This is going to be important because right now the entirety of this island is available to every single truck that exists as far as moving things from point A to point B. And if you are able to separate a massively stupid long island like this into various logistical zones, then this will save on pathing for these trucks, which is going to be something that gets very, very big late game especially. So normally you're not going to see it. If you play any of the other maps that we're going to be looking at, they're all kind of rectangular. They're all kind of square, and you're all going to just kind of stay in one little area. So it's not like they're going to be pathing across distances. As we grow through this map, we're going to be taking over the majority of it. So that means you're going to have pathing options for vehicles through the extent of it, which is insanity to me. So this is some good stuff. We'll find out. They added a tutorial to how to make it work. We're going to be doing that. There's some more interesting stuff with the trains that should be interesting for us, but I don't think we're going to have to worry about it here. I'm mostly excited about that. And again, in here, they added a train, but with a train fuel usage now reported on fuel consumption statistics. One of these in here somewhere, I think the thing that I wanted to say for trains was that they doubled the train station capacity to whatever that was. I've not touched them. I don't know. I've watched a couple of people play with them just so we can kind of get the idea. But yeah, they're really working on trying to get those trains functional. So that's quite interesting. Anyhow, yeah, let's log out of here. We're going to go load into the game and go look at some new stuff. Alrighty, let's jump into here and we'll discuss about a couple of things that we were having problems at the end of last episode, and it was mainly due to the little stone guys over here not doing what I told them to do. The reasoning why they were dumping stuff out here is because that's what they were designed to do. I know I had pointed at these little things in here. Those are just literally there to let you know if something backs up, and that's fine. I want to know when they back up because we're going to care about when either one of those two back up. However, I think I can actually not care about that one, the dirt one I'm more so, because we're going to be using gravel and we're going to be using rock as a resource in this run because I'm going to try to, grind it up into manufactured sand to make stuff out of it. So what I had to do was I had to remove what can be dumped in this particular zone to nothing. And in reality, what I need to do, and while I'm thinking about it, we're going to go ahead and put another one of these down, and I'm going to shorten this one's zone up a lot. So I want to edit this area. You're going to go give me the rectangular tool, and I want to just rectangular tool it in like a cell, so that's all they're going to be able to do. This one, which one is this one? Did I just accidentally do the wrong one? I did. Dang it, I don't want you doing that. I want you, no trucks, no excavators. You're just here. So theoretically, I could tell that one to do things too. This is going to be our dump plot, so I don't want it doing anything. Let go of that. Thank you. All right, nice. You did that. I love it when you try to think you got a hold of the right one and you don't. This one, I want its zone to be that area right there. All right, and I want you, maybe it was just overlapping funky. Okay, whatever. So then your zone is going to be the front line out here where we already have all this stuff going. So I don't want it to overlap too terribly bad with this right now. And I think we'll just do something kind of like maybe to there and then just all the way to that point right there. Okay. Sure. And then when that gets built, what we can do is I should be able to tell this to export to, oh nuts, I done screwed that one up. Export routes and then add there as well. And it should dump everything it finds here first. And the same thing will go to both of these guys right here. I want you to dump there. And the coal should still be dumping to the other one, correct? No, add that one to there as well. And then this one will be allowed to dump rock, dirt, and the slag, we're just going to shove it over here in a corner. There's a very good possibility we may end up digging that stuff back up, so who knows. Anyhow, go ahead, build that, and then we'll see where we are. Once they get that built, there shouldn't be any trucks connected to any of those. Should be good to go there. You will be able to then just do this, and if there's anything that overflows, so like if they get over here and they can't put any rock or dirt or anything into this particular ore sorting facility, they should then be able to then dump it into this mine control tower, which will then dump it back here. Our biggest goal here is I want to, again, try to use as much recycled materials in some of the stuff that we're going to be using an awful lot of, which is why we're doing a couple of things. But as you can see, I've already doubled up on these crushers. I'm going to actually probably need to build a third one out here because theoretically this one crusher here that is pulling in this rock, turning it into gravel, can support 3 of these. But right now I don't really care. Our major concern is just to make sure we've got all of the gravel and the sand that we need to make those work. Okay. As well as right now, we're currently researching some stuff. I want to kind of remove some things here very quickly because I think I want to leave that one in place, but I am going to remove that queue, all of those down to there for right now. Storage, sure, no on this, no on those. I want to add in, because we're currently researching the next size of storage, I want to add in the logistic zones, and then we're going to go to I think gas combustion for now, and then we'll do steel, food market, and that just gets us a bigger market. Okay, cool, we have those, so now they're going to work on this, and then just kind of work our way over to that point for now. So then, you do you, we'll do food, ship, weapons, ship, armor, and then ship that to there, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn on that one because we should be able to get to there. Now, I'm actually re-recording this part because I realized that they made more changes since the last time I played this video game than I was aware of. So one of the things that I want to mention about the way that this works, and the next biggest one is coming up, the conundrum that you have to work with, is that they have been known, this tech tree has been known to contain backtracks. I'm just going to call it like that. And the biggest next backtrack that we're going to see is the larger vehicles. And the reason why large vehicles is a backtrack is because in order to produce the vehicle parts 2, you need to be able to produce glass. If you notice in here, you're enticed to, given those how we work with, trees and how flow charting works. Anybody that stares at that would be looking at it going like, well, that's neat. I can just click on this little button right here, and as soon as I unlock that, then I should be able to then produce the vehicle parts that makes it look. But if you look at what the actual recipe is in here, the reason why it's gated here is because you need the assembly 3, I believe, to be able to make the vehicle parts Mark II. Doesn't really matter either way if you don't. The thing is you need to have glass first. Now, if you look, we have steel. Steel is available right here. Steel is part of the recipe for the vehicle parts Mark II. However, glass is also part of it. So if you're trying to work through and try to figure out what you need to do first, theoretically, you should be looking at building glass and glass making first over doing this, because you need to be able to make glass in order to be able to make the vehicles, I believe trains for that matter, And I think there's even something else in here that you need glass for. Well, it's going to be the extension of building housing, wherever that gets to. But yeah, you need to make glass first, which means you then need to kind of work backwards through glass, which is going to be a nice new recipe for a seawater pump and the ability to make salt water. Really? Well, that's new. I'll have to look that one up. That's a good idea. But yeah, you need to be able to make glass first in order to be able to make large vehicles first. Now, the reason why I'm re-recording this is because it used to be, and this is a kind of a silly thing, the cargo depot number 1, these cargo depot number 1 or 2 or whatever this 2 is that they state here. It used to be that you could not upgrade a cargo depot number 1 in place. You had to rip it up and then build the next size up, which is available over here. That has changed. This is why I'm re-recording this. Why that was such a big deal, and I'm just going to say this, why that was such a big deal is the fact that if you did have something like a fluid module or a loose module or a unit module attached to the thing, you had to empty those modules out before you could deconstruct them, because you have to deconstruct the modules before you deconstruct the cargo depot. So that's something to keep in mind as you build on in this game, is that you need to be able to, if you want to move, cargo depots are they stay put. It's just like trying to build a new shipping dock. If you want to build a place for your ship, they have to stay put. They're hard to move because of everything that needs to be attached to them. Thank goodness they decided to at least change that to the point where we can move a cargo depot to this section and I don't have to worry about it. So that will be a later on thing. We have lots of things that we need to get done right now. Anyhow, as we look here, we should have also done a couple of things in between episodes. I did do a little bit more wandering around. I believe I found, I think right here, I believe I found some wheat seeds, which is why that recipe, this is open. This is why this is open. Actually, I need to add that to queue. No, it's already queue. As far as food goes, if you're looking for better food, so like corn farming, we're going to have to find the corn seeds. I have to find soybean seeds. I have to find canola seeds. It's kind of an interesting process, and it's requires you to go out and mess around. As we saw, where is the map? Hit that map. As we saw here with our new neighbors, if we trade them some construction parts, we can get chicken, which means we can do that section now too. Just little different things along the lines of how those go. There's multiple ways of doing that. So first thing I do want to do is we have already loaded up the required necessary materials to go get that ship up and running, our first cargo ship. That's going to be very important. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll deliver that cargo. Our ship will go over there and take care of that problem. All right, so we have the new thing here. I want to make a note. We're going to look at that. We're going to also start working on steel smelting. Start working on steel smelting. The steel smelting is going to require us to do some interesting stuff, and it may be one of the first large changes that we have. I do want to, I was going to say I wanted to upgrade the unit storages that we have for, well, the storages that we have for certain things. I want to upgrade that storage for sure, and that storage for sure. Food is one of those things that will always end up creeping up on you when you're not paying attention. So we'll have our trucks upgrade these two storages to the next level. All they are is, twice the storage size, which is kind of nice. And I don't know what's taking so long. There we go. Click. All right, cool. So now we have double the storage for both our vegetables and our potatoes. Good deal. As we wander through this stuff, I will upgrade these, but we're going to have to kind of go at this a little slower than I had anticipated because of a certain situation that is happening over here. We are very, very, very slowly running out of oil, which is why I'm trying to get after some of this stuff very, very, very soon. What else have we got going? I think I can not care about those. You should be back. I want that guy back immediately. Please come home because I want to get this up and running immediately. Okay, so our biggest problem right now is literally we're going to be running out of fuel pretty soon. Once again, we're going to be running out of fuel pretty soon because of the fact we did all of this stuff and we're kind of running down on things. We have a stopgap of about 30, about 5,000 oil left. Or if you look at that in a different number, it's less than half of the amount of oil that we have there will be turned into fuel. So we have about 2,400 fuel left to be able to do things. Every time this thing goes somewhere, it uses, well, it filled itself up. It uses a decent amount of fuel to go someplace. Go ahead, load the ship with that. And they should take care of all those once they get those loaded. Is it loaded? No, it's not. Come on, guys. Load that up, please. We need that oil rig running. Good, 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 good. Yeah, I know. I know. It's fine. I want this moving. 20. Nice. Get hit going. We'll get those guys up and running so we can have some oil ready for us. And then we need to deal with the next problem, which is going to be mine control tower with no mining designations in this area. And that's going to be that one because I've been kind of silly about stuff. I want that button right there. No, I don't want that button. I need the button over here. Leveling designation. I'm going to have you guys start leveling here and then just go that way to the end of the line for now. What are you doing all the way the heck up there? So it's driving all the way back. Okay. Apparently that is all navigable. That's interesting. I do kind of want to make sure these guys are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Or our storage is filling up slightly. Oh, good. That's nice and full. That's what I wanted to see. How are you doing? They're still doing it, aren't they? See, this doesn't make any sense. That's a material that I'm telling them to dump in a specific zone, right? And they're hauling it and dumping it over there. No, I guess you're not allowed to see this. Hey, no. No. You come here. We need the gravel. Turn around and go back to where you're supposed to. Thank you. All right. I don't know why that is such a problem. I have no idea why that is such a problem. Why they absolutely refuse to be prioritous over that. Oh, should do that too. I doubt that's the problem. All right, well, whatever. We're good to go there. That'll do the work. Again, this is just going to be something that we're going to have to deal with. As the game gets longer and we get larger excavators, we'll be able to do a lot more with this. And I don't think I need 4 trucks there. Well, we do have 2 things. That's fine. All right, so they should start filling things up. They should start growing nicely, and we should be able to do some stuff here. Okay, now, with all that said, I had plans to do a couple of things as far as upgrading this system into being a little bit bigger oil production facility, i.e. I was going to start working on the new tools that we got last time, these 2 machines. With that being said, that is not so pressing. Now, there is some more oil on this island. It's all the way over here. And in theory, I could build some pump jacks on this and then like run a line most of the way back over here and then maybe truck the rest of it or do whatever. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to attempt to try to find a spot over here somewhere for that cargo ship to live. And I don't know if I can do it without moving this. I know for a fact we've got to get rid of this. I do know for a fact I've got to get rid of that. How are we doing? Food markets. What did we get last? What was the next one? Messages. Things. Advanced oil processing. We're going to be at that for a minute. We should have some new things. Click on the button. So yeah, that should have gotten all of those. We're now working on food market, which is good. And did I get those? Those are going to go down to there. All right, nice. We'll play with the logistics in just a little bit once we get there. So I do need to move you. You can go anywhere on this entire island. Like I can put this out here now, I suppose. may end up saying what we'll do is we'll move all of this right here to over here, double up on the water production in this corner, which I think I can probably maybe move some things around to make that happen. Okay, now let's see about trying to maybe get the oil in here, the oil, or at least one of these cargo docks in. Now, like I said, understanding when you place one of these down, you can actually see the lines now. This is when I realized that I had set it incorrectly and I was fixing to tell you guys a bunch of stories. You can see where it's saying I am, there's a line off to the side where the stuff's slowly kind of popping in and you can't see it, so those little yellow lines to the side there. That's telling me that I can build something that will allow me to extend into this, which means I then have to not do that. Terrain is too low, terrain is too low. Please let me get into the ocean, right? There. No. There. Okay. I want you to build that right there, please. Because we're going to need oil desperately. Pretty soon, actually. Very, very soon. But they should be able to build that. Now, the trading development, trading port thingy, trading dock is not necessary to keep this in place, but I'm going to... I don't want to put it too far away. Can we put it over there? Yeah, we're going to have to do some serious flattening of things. So now that we have that built, we should have a little ship come in and say hello. He's so cute. It's so funny. I might be in trouble with this one now. We could build it out there. Because you have to have this in order to be able to trade with other villages, peoples, stuff. You don't like liquid pump dump designation. Okay, can I back you up? I just saw it green. Go. Good enough. All right, cool. Now, as I stated, these things are a real pain in the tail because if you do want to move them, you have to disconnect or tear apart everything that's attached to them. But we should at least be able to now do a little bit of goofiness. Oh, yeah, that was the thing I needed to do. Go out on the main map. I need to tell you we want to turn you on. Thank you very much. And how much is an upgrade? No, we won't do that for right now. You go home. Okay. And this oil facility will now start building or producing oil for us. This is going to use a little bit of Unity while we're doing the work, which we have to kind of pay attention to in here. So as you're kind of messing around, the more of the things you have out here running, the more interesting it can get. I do believe I want to try to maybe think about... Oh, well, we can't go this way. This is the reasoning why we need ship armor and ship stuff. Can I send you over... You can't explore it yet because you need to get some fuel. All right, so the reasoning why I say this again is as we get forward here, we'll be able to update this and it'll be able to scoot this direction. We should be able to at least carry that to about here, and by the time we're ready to move this, we will have new technologies that will allow us to make better water decisions. So I want to... Where are they? They should be under transport, and we're going to do 2 fluid modules. Boom. Boom. We'll build those, and then I want to build a new tank, loose storage, liquid storage. You're just going to get plugged in right there. I have learned to use a pipe connection between things in case you end up wanting to build something right here that needs it. That will get a fill up with fuel to there. And import route. Sure. Which one did we end up using? Was it this one? Yeah, okay, cool. All right. As soon as he gets filled up, nice. We'll let those sit for just a little bit. Actually, I think I can probably tell it what is available. It's already showing you what's available as far as cargo on the map is concerned. It will allow us to go get it. Nice, cool. I want to reduce ship speed to save fuel because we don't necessarily need to worry about that. We now have 12 people sitting there in that ship, and we are waiting for there is enough cargo to pick up. They can hold, 1,000, so that's fine. That's perfect. We'll let them fill that tank up, and then as soon as it's ready to go, it will go get some things. But we at least now have a lucky supply of oil. I was getting a little concerned there because, again, these basic distillers really chew through the fuel and the coal and make a lot of just useless parts for you. That's going to be bad because we're going to also have to run a line from here out to here because I think oil is going to live out here. But for now, that's just another one of those things we're going to have to deal with. So I guess I could move this stuff. Could move all of these out of the way. But we're fine. As long as I have the ability to go get some oil, we will be okay. And I think we'll probably just go ahead and even stick a larger storage right. I get to that without connecting to it and getting in their way. Knit's good enough there. And tank. And no, there. No, good enough. All right, cool. They still have a decent amount of room to drive through there. That's fine. I don't want you guys to export cargo from there. Thank you. All right, well, I suppose now that we're doing that, I'm going to, we have a couple of minutes here. And I really kind of want to just rip this all out. The thing about oil is we're going to rebuild oil several times. I want to kind of say that right off. We're going to rebuild oil several times. So it doesn't bother me to, I mean, maybe we start rebuilding the new section right in here instead of on out, but oil is going to end up being like legitimately most of, well, I love how I can't select things here. Oil's literally going to be like grab a button thing, like at least this big eventually. It's at least going to be that big, just given on how in-depth they make the silly thing. So what I think we'll do, gas combustion, that's what I was waiting on as far as starting oil was the gas combustion. Starting the next section of oil was the gas combustion because we're going to have certain waste products that we're going to use in order to get places. So I think, given how things are going, next episode we're going to start into that. I know we're going to be all over these places. I needed to get this going. We needed to get this desperately going. How are we doing? How much have we got? You can go get, why don't you just go get some so that we can start thinking about it? He's kind of cool. He leaves. And you're going to go nice and slow because I told you to go slow. So yeah, you can just go get us some oil right now. Where's it going to go? Is it going to go that way? I mean, like when this thing leaves, it goes that way. Where do you go poof? Where do you go poof? Did you go around the corner? Ah, okay. That's interesting. I know it was going to disappear. it is what it is. But yes, I think what we're going to do, we're going to get that to where we're going to be filling up some tanks, and then we'll just pipe it down this direction here. I'm going to have to, for certain, start probably moving more gravel, rock, dust, junk over to this area here and start building out, like, say, this line. There may be a new batch of trucks and excavators that are going to start just digging this mountain down and pouring it out into the ocean out here so that we can get, well, some more surface area, because we're going to need a lot of those. We're going to need a lot of those ships over the amount of time that it takes for us to play this game. So I think next time we will go to work specifically on building with the new crude oil, the stuff that we got last time. Again, like I said, I was waiting on one particular thing, which was a gas-fired boiler so that we don't waste all of the production stuff that comes out of here. We're going to end up wasting a few things anyway, but at least now we're not so worried about running out of oil, which we were getting a little close on. So I think until then, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all in the next one, and we should have a little bit of fun. Hopefully we'll be able to get into more advanced oil and possibly steel, which is going to be another conversation all in of its own. So until then, I'll see you all later. Bye.